warm welcome to our chief guest for the day, who has just joined us. With your permission, sir, I will now start the program. जिस दिन से चला हूँ मेरी मंजिल पर नजर है, आंखों ने कभी मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा। ये चांद सितारे मुझे क्या विरासत में मिले हैं, तुमने मेरा कांटों भरा बिस्तर नहीं देखा। In these difficult times of novel COVID-19 virus, when life has come to a standstill, it was a matter of great concern as to how a lengthy list of cases which were pending for long will be disposed of. The thought kept perturbing us at Delhi State Legal Services Authority until a light was shown in the shape of organizing an E-lok Adalat by our Honorable Patron-in-Chief and Executive Chairperson, under whose esteemed guidance and constant motivation, we were able to organize the first ever E-lok Adalat in Delhi. A very good evening to Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairperson, National Legal Services Authority. Honorable Mr. Justice D.N. Patel, Chief Justice, Delhi High Court and Patron-in-Chief, Delhi State Legal Services Authority. Honorable Ms. Justice Hima Kohli, Judge, High Court of Delhi and Executive Chairperson, Delhi State Legal Services Authority. All Honorable Judges of Delhi High Court, Learned Registrar General, Delhi High Court, Learned Member Secretary, National Legal Services Authority, Learned District and Session Judges, and all learned judicial officers. It is indeed our utmost pleasure to have your presence today on the occasion of celebration of successful accomplishment ceremony of first ever E-lok Adalat in Delhi. I humbly request Honorable Ms. Justice Hima Kohli to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Namita. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Judge Supreme Court and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Justice Patel, Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court and Patron-in-Chief, Delhi Legal Services Authority. My esteemed colleagues, Mr. Jain, Member Secretary NALSA, all the Member Secretaries of the State Legal Services Authorities who have joined us today, Mr. Arora, Member Secretary DSLSA, District and Session Judges, Principal Judges, Family Court, members of the press and the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Delhi Legal Services Authority, I have the privilege of welcoming Justice Ramanna and Justice Patel to the accomplishment ceremony of the E-lok Adalat organized by the Delhi Legal Services Authority today. I may start by sharing some firsts. This is the first virtual Lok Adalat organized by DSLSA in Delhi. This is the first time that Justice Ramanna is gracing the ceremony as the Executive Chairperson of NALSA. This is also the first function organized by DSLSA this year that Justice Patel is attending. I express my deep gratitude to Justice Ramanna for not only steering the state legal services authorities across the country, including Delhi State Legal Services Authority, to greater heights to secure access to justice for all, but also for illuminating the course with his wisdom and foresight. Sir, the successful accomplishment of the first E-lok Adalat by DSLSA is the result of your continuous motivation and guidance. We look forward to your support in our future endeavors to achieve many more first ever accomplishments towards providing effective legal assistance to those in need. Thank you for making time to preside over this ceremony. I'm grateful to Justice Patel for taking keen interest in the affairs and functioning of the DSLSA. Sir, your valuable advice and wholehearted support to DSLSA has enabled us to travel beyond providing legal assistance and spreading awareness to achieving the milestone of providing legal empowerment to the common man. Thank you for always being there for us. Over the past years, NALSA has been regularly and diligently promoting Lok Adalats as an effective and acceptable mode of alternate dispute redressal. This has provided an impetus to all the state legal services authorities to follow suit. Under the aegis of NALSA, the Delhi State Legal Services Authority has also been continuously conducting Lok Adalats, where thousands of disputes are brought to a quietus. The cost effectiveness of Lok Adalats has considerably added to its acceptance by the public at large. The ever-mounting figures of cases amicably resolved in the Lok Adalats and the eagerness with which litigants throng in the pre-Lok Adalat sessions stands as a testimony to its dependability and popularity. In recent times, the novel coronavirus has forced shut virtually everything world over. However, during the lockdown, the Delhi State Legal Services Authority has continued making sincere efforts to meaningfully implement the motto access to justice for all. For this, we had to think out of the box. We had to reinvent ourselves and come up with new concepts. Commencing from identifying victims of domestic violence from sources as varied as Anganwadi workers, chemist shops, mother dairy booths, and filing urgent applications on their behalf in courts, to supplementing the registration process of construction workers. From distributing food, clothes, and other essentials, including medicines, to those who need, to continuing with the legal literacy program as per the NALSA guidelines. By conducting webinars for school children and other stakeholders, DSLSA and its team has worked untiringly throughout the lockdown. It is in line with these efforts that DSLSA has organized the first online E-lok Adalat today. The successful accomplishment of the first online E-lok Adalat may be a baby step as compared to several other heavyweight projects undertaken by DSLSA during the lockdown. But to us, it is special. It signifies a giant leap towards the harnessing of technology in the field of alternate dispute resolution, thus making sure that Lok Adalats do not face any barriers, either of time or of distance, besides being much more cost effective and time efficient. To achieve this goal of organizing an online E-lok Adalat, the DLSA has received active support from SAMA, an online platform of dispute resolution. SAMA has been instrumental in providing technical support for successfully conducting the online Lok Adalat by taking virtual consents of the parties, by creating links for the online hearings and obtaining the digital signatures of the parties onto the settlement. To streamline the process, SAMA has not only conducted training of our judicial officers who had to preside over the Lok Adalats, but it has also assigned case managers in each of our districts to ensure the smooth functioning of the online Lok Adalat that was conducted today. In this Lok Adalat, in all, 11 districts in Delhi have participated. A total number of 77 judicial officers, 62 lawyers and 15 doctors have presided over 77 benches. I will share with all of us the total number of cases that have been conducted, but I will refrain from giving the total number of cases settled or the figures defrayed. I will leave them to my Chief Justice. So we had about 8,112 cases, including cases relating to the Negotiable Instruments Act, MACT, electricity disputes, bank recovery matters that were referred for settlement. And I can assure you, the figure that will be shared soon with you will show how the mounting dockets would be eased thanks to this Lok Adalat. The quest to achieve the motto, access for justice to justice for all, will always be our light, a guiding light. The wisdom and able guidance of the Executive Chairperson of NALSA, Justice Ramanna, and the hands-on approach of our Patron-in-Chief, the DSLSA, Justice Patel, has provided a fillip to DLSA to transform adversity into opportunity and reinvent and revitalize itself to promote the cause of justice. On behalf of the entire DLSA team, I once again welcome Justice Ramanna and thank him for readily agreeing to preside over today's ceremony. Sir, we lay a special claim on you and your time due to your past association with the Delhi High Court, which we cherish. I heartily welcome Justice Patel and thank my colleagues from the High Court, the District Courts, Member Secretaries, State Legal Services Authorities, and all the attendees for having spared their valuable time to join us virtually on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Now I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice D.N. Patel to present the keynote address.
Good evening to everybody. My Lord Justice N.V. Ramanna, the Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority, NALSA. Honorable Justice Hima Kohliji, Executive Chairperson, Delhi State Legal Services Authority. My esteemed sisters and brother judges of Delhi High Court, district and sessions judges of all the district courts, principal judges of the family courts, district judges of the commercial courts, Sri Manoj Jain, Registrar General, Delhi High Court, Aditi Chaudhary, Registrar Vigilance, Delhi High Court, Sri Ashok Kumar Jain, Member Secretary, NALSA, Mr. Kamaljit Arora, my Member Secretary, Delhi State Legal Services Authority and his team, Member Secretaries, State Legal Services Authorities of the country, Sri Sanjay Kumar Agarwal, Principal Secretary Law, Department of Law, Justice and Legislative Affairs, Government of NCT of Delhi, Sri Ravinder Duneja, Director Academics, Delhi Judicial Academy and his team, all judicial officers of the Delhi Judicial Services, secretaries of Delhi State Legal Services Authorities at a district level, Sri Pranjal Sinha, CEO, SAMA. SAMA has played a very vital role. I will narrate. CEO is present over here with all of us. Senior officers of insurance companies and participating banks, panel lawyers of DLSAs, print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. I convey my heartfelt good wishes and extend my warm felicitation to all the dignitaries present in this August e-gathering. I am delighted to have this opportunity to share my thoughts and address to this e-assembly on the occasion of successful organization of the first ever E-lok Adalat. Because of this pandemic COVID-19 situation, we have heard the words virtual courts and now virtual Lok Adalat. And this is a first in the whole of the country. The legal aid should be of a strategic and a preventive rather than litigative oriented. And thus more and more ADR should and must be encouraged. The sections of the society such as Anganwadi workers, Asha workers, health workers, social workers, people and the societies engaged in community services, Sakhi centers, NGOs must be consulted and engaged to reach out at the grassroots levels and to make masses conscious of their rights and our efforts. They say that the wheels of sun never stop. So are with the wheels of justice. The servants of the law are expected to be in the service at every moment, in all conditions. Whereas the global pandemic has brought the entire world on its knees, I can proudly say that the law enforcement machinery has been busier than ever, be it interim bails, high-power committee meetings, or the legal aid to inmates, be it special jail sittings, or be it maintaining the law and order. The servants of law, the magistrate, police, high courts, and the Honorable Apex Court have been working day and night. I salute the spirit and the commitment of all our officers and staff, and importantly their family members too. Without your brave efforts, we could not have done anything that we managed to do in the difficult times of a nationwide lockdown. This Lok Adalat organized through online platforms, ensuring safety and the public health and ensuring zero touch. This is an exhibit of our commitment to ensure the justice for all at all the costs in every condition, braving every diversity and adversity. I congratulate Honorable Justice Hima Kohliji, the Executive Chairperson, Delhi State Legal Services Authority, and all the learned judges and the staff members who are part of the DLSA's families, and I thank them for their dynamic support to the cause of justice. I must add that the organization of the online Lok Adalat and virtual courts is a step in the right direction and is a part of our new reality too. Let me narrate that the legal aid, there are types of the legal aids. Major are three: pre-litigation, then during litigation, and compensatory legal aid also we are giving. Pre-litigation, everyone knows that prior to going to the court, nowadays people have started coming to us, means State Legal Services Authority, District Legal Services Authority, and Taluka Legal Services Authority. Perhaps it is the highest achievement by NALSA and all of us. It is technically known as a multi-door system. Instead of going to court first, you just go to the mediation, conciliation, arbitration, and then to the court. All of you are aware that nowadays the law has also started incorporating such provisions. Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Act, first we have to go for mediation. It is made compulsory. See, the now statute is saying compulsory mediation. Similarly, under other acts also, say commercial disputes. Commercial disputes definition is a very, very wide definition. All such disputes, before going to the court, have to go for mediation. This is the beauty of the ADR, recognition by ADR, and all of us are knowing the benefits of the ADR, win-win situation. The relationship will be maintained between employer and employee, husband and wife, and such type of maintenance of the relations and a solution of the problem is an art by itself. So pre-litigation legal aid, litigation legal aid, and a compensation, etc. also legal aid is required. Sometimes victims are not concerned with what will going to happen after 4, 5, 10 years in the courts, conviction or acquittal. But the victims are entitled for the legal aid and the compensation. And it is a statutory duty of all the District Legal Services Authority under Section 357 and 357 capital A of CRPC. And under various schemes of the central government, state government, we have to inform the people at large that they are entitled for several type of benefits. So they have nothing to do with the litigation, nothing to do with the pre-litigation, but still they are in a need of a legal aid, which we all of us are doing under the headship of NALSA. Now let me narrate the Delhi model which we have applied for this E-lok Adalat. This is a first in a point of time in the whole of country. Now I am narrating how we have conducted this E-lok Adalat. There is a body which is known as a SAMA. I have narrated that CEO of SAMA is present with all of us. Sri Pranjal Sinha, CEO SAMA. It is registered with the Ministry of Law and Justice. It is online dispute resolution organization, head office of which is situated at Bangalore. We have entered into MOU with SAMA. This is step number 1. Why I am narrating? Because the figure I will tell today's figure is a very fantastic figure. We have taken up 808,112 cases on hand, and by now still few benches are going on. By now I have got a latest figure. 5824 cases have been settled, and the total amount which is settled is 46.81 crores. Total cases settled by now. There will be slight addition in the figure at the end of by the end of this function. 5,824 out of total 8,112 cases, and the amount settled by now is 46.81 crores. And one case, in a single case, the compensation awarded under the MSCT case is rupees 1 crore. Is rupees 1 crore. It's a very high figure. And the concerned bench judge is Mr. Shetty. It is a matter of Tata AIG General Insurance matter. We are proud of all of you. The work is done very nicely. But now let me narrate in detail the Delhi model so that other states can apply. And if Delhi can dispose of 5,000-6,000 cases, 10 or 15 states can follow, then we can reach up to a figure of more than 75,000 cases. So the first is a MOU with SAMA, which is a body registered with the Ministry of Law and Justice. It is an online dispute resolution organization, head office at Bengaluru. Then we have adopted standard operating procedure. Standard operating procedure means we have taken, this is our experimental E-lok Adalat. We can further go in detail, but those cases in which we have got email addresses and mobile phones of both the parties, those cases only we have taken up. We send the messages, consent is obtained online, that yes, we are ready to go for online E-lok Adalat. After getting consent of 8,112 cases, now work has started with the help of in fact, we wanted to do slightly earlier, before 10-15 days, but for any reason it has been postponed for today. We encash this 15 days for more disposal, and this is how our disposal is much more, and the work is continued by all the benches for pre-sittings, etc. Thereafter, settlement has been arrived at. Now there is a bottleneck, just for the benefit of all others I am narrating. Once the settlement is arrived at, it will go on the email of the concerned party. They have got two options, either for modification or to accept. Suppose they are going for modification, then they can modify, and again it will go to another other side. Other side will do some modification, again it will go back, and thereafter final settlement. Then that party has to press a button that yes, I agree. Then OTP will be generated. You see, by doing this exercise, email will be checked up, phone numbers will be checked up, and OTP will be generated on a mobile, and there shall be insertion of the OTP and e-signature will be applied. And we are maintaining all the records of all these settlements, OTP, and by what time, who has done what, everything we are having for our records. So this is how we have adopted a Delhi model, and it has worked very nicely. Approximately 71% is the success rate, and we are also thinking to hold one more E-lok Adalat for 138 negotiable instrument act matters also. We will finalize later on after discussion with NALSA, after discussion with other stakeholders. A lucid policy direction, coherency of the vision, and a goal orientation are the founding principles of any institutional excellence and a successful achievement of objectives. I will be failing in my duty as a patron-in-chief of the Delhi State Legal Services Authority if I do not wholeheartedly appreciate the leadership and the contributions of Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana Sahib in furthering the goals of justice and the legal aid and taking NALSA to a new heights by his progressive constitutional vision. His Lordship's exemplary leadership and support of the new ideas has laid groundwork for new ventures and thoughts in some otherwise unexplored fields of law, from artificial intelligence to virtual evidence, from plight of acid addict survivors to the rights of transgender. Something new is being done each day at NALSA under the guidance of His Lordship. The extraordinary work done by NALSA and the state authorities under the guidance and path shown by Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana Sahib, during the COVID pandemic and the nationwide lockdowns is unprecedented and shall be mentioned in bold letters in the history of legal aid. His Lordship's forward vision is not only apparent in his orders on the judicial side, such as the Kashmir Internet Judgment, but also in his orders on administrative side. It is only due to foresight and guidance of His Lordship as Executive Chairperson NALSA, the concept of front offices as the first contact establishment and as a space for the direct interaction with the litigants has come to the reality. Organizing E-lok Adalat to further the cause of litigants was also a brainchild of His Lordship. The consumers of the legal aid and we, the servants of the law, shall always be indebted to His Lordship for his noble initiatives and guidance and constitutional vision of justice. At the end, I must highlight that it is important for us to understand that unless and until we discharge our duties in the most just and responsive manner, our society cannot progress. Apart from being absolutely sincere and conscious, we must show utmost humility and sensitivity towards everyone who is a victim, not only of crimes but also of the circumstances. I'm always narrating that whenever in the court and even out of court as a part and parcel of the legal services authorities, we have to give priority to 6 or 7 type of persons. I must have told earlier also, let me repeat also once more. Always priority should be given to the matters and the cause of widow, women, children, senior citizens, differently able persons, persons who are in the jail, and mentally challenged persons. If we can do good for all these 5, 7 category persons, even in the court also, suppose somebody's matter has come, we can always give priority to differently able persons' matter. The persons who are in the jail, time and again the judgments have been delivered that as early as possible we should dispose of those matters. So I am giving this priority to 7 type of persons, and I have narrated so that this thing should be emphatically known to all of us, especially those who are working in the district legal services authority. On that note, I shall wrap up and convey my best wishes to all of you for all future endeavors. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. We will always tread the path shown by you and will keep making you feel proud by fulfilling the motto of reaching to the last man of the society. Your words of wisdom are always a source of inspiration for all of us. Now, I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna to kindly deliver the presidential address.
Honorable Justice A.N. Patel, Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, Patron in Chief of Delhi Legal Service Authority. I am audible? I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Justice Hema Kohli, Executive Chairperson of Delhi Legal Service Authority, brother and sister judges of Delhi High Court, judicial family members of Delhi Judiciary, panel lawyers, and legal aid workers, paralegal volunteers, senior advocates, representatives of of the banks and insurance companies, ladies and gentlemen. You all know that I am fond of Delhi and I love Delhi High Court, Delhi Judiciary, Delhi lawyers a lot. Delhi is very close to my heart. I enjoyed those days as a Chief Justice of Delhi High Court. I never forget the warm support and help rendered by all of you. And I sincerely thank all of you once again. And I cherish those days. Today, a function when brother Justice Patel and sister Hima told me that they want to start this E-lok Adalat much before the other states, but for one or other reason, it is delayed for more than 10 days. But however, I am very happy this ceremony of E-lok Adalat, where now Justice Patel has read out his figures, approximately 700 and 500 and 5,824 cases out of 8,1102 cases are already settled, and 46.81 crores is already getting to the beneficiaries. It is the first of its kind in the country. This model may be applied in other states also with local necessary modifications. I am also happy to preside over this function because now, because of the COVID situation, where physical meetings have become difficult, meeting you all in this occasion gives me immense pleasure. Before talking about the program, I would like to say a few words about the Chief Justice of Delhi, Brother Justice Patel. Justice Patel's commitment, knowledge about the legal aid movement is well known. In fact, during his tenure as a judge of Jharkhand High Court, as the executive chairperson of this Jharkhand State Legal Service Authority, he had started several initiatives for needy people. He had also initiated a special drive in jails to identify convicts whose appeals were not filed and ensured that the same were filed within time. Even after taking over the Chief Justice of Delhi, he is spending considerable time and guiding the Delhi State Legal Service Authority. He has given innovative ideas to the authorities regarding provision of vocational training and creation of job opportunities for the convicts. I was told that he has recently inaugurated Oasis, a voluntary vocational training center at Central Jail Tihar. And we have just heard his very knowledgeable and guiding speech. I congratulate Mr. Patel, his contribution, and it's a good thing that Delhi got such a knowledgeable Chief Justice. Now I will come at Justice Hima Kohli, sister. Justice Hima is known to me, I think almost, I can say about 15 years, more than 15 years back. When I'm a judge of Andhra Pradesh High Court, when I used to come, it is invariably we used to meet and discuss several issues. And now she is heading this Delhi State Legal Service Authority. And during this pandemic, she was at the forefront of devising means to reach out the needy persons at their doorstep. She launched mobile apps to assist persons in need, particularly domestic violence victims and migrant labor. He not only presided over the high-powered committee set up to decongest Delhi prisons, but also came up with novel ideas to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in prisons. Justice Kohli has also passed various orders on the judicial side, directing the Delhi administration to provide food, shelter, and transportation of the migrant laborers, and directed the Delhi Legal Service Authority to supervise the compliance of those orders. So, I congratulate Hima for her services, and I expect more initiatives and good programs from her. Now we'll come back to the issue. Undoubtedly, the world has not remained the same due to the ongoing pandemic. The destructive impact of coronavirus can be witnessed everywhere, from our usual habits to external interactions. Everything has undergone a dramatic change. In some ways, these testing times have resulted in innovation and development of new means and methods. We all have to learn new technical skills and have to set aside our inertia and embrace new ways for the betterment of the society. This outbreak has brought many unique and immediate challenges for the justice delivery system. It has forced us to work within the constraints of new public health policies and guidelines. From trial court to Supreme Court, judges are working through video conferencing to make the courts accessible to all who are in the need of justice. In order to make the idea of access to justice effective, our focus should be shifted towards such people who need the system the most. Justice should be used user-centric. One such user-centric approach during these difficult times is the introduction of E-lok Adalat. The pandemic has created a big gulf in relationships within the family, neighborhood, and workplaces. People have lost their livelihood, shelter, children lost their education, and the number of family issues are creating tremendous pressure and on psychological issues. This pandemic has not only affected the health of the masses, but has also led to the increase of the instance of legal violations. Since we cannot reach out the people physically in these challenging times, the legal service authorities are finding creative solutions to make justice accessible. Now, there is enormous pressure to maintain austerity, increases efficiency, and yet deliver quality legal service while working remotely. Here, technology has played a very crucial role in this transformation, and the legal service authority is trying to keep up with the changing times by using technology as its strongest tool. Online Lok Adalat is one such solution. A well-recognized digital solution in the form of online dispute resolution called ODR, Online Dispute Resolution ODR, a combination of technology and ADR. It will give new momentum to the Lok Adalats in India in future. The idea behind Lok Adalat is it imbibes within itself the sanctity of the party's consent and will. Once the issue is settled in Lok Adalat and the award is passed, it is binding upon the parties and the same is not appealable and the dispute has reached its finality. Lok Adalat have remained successful not only in reducing judicial backlogs, and it helps disposing of many pending cases, but also settling the cases at the pre-litigation stage. There are multiple benefits to adopting this method of dispute resolution. It reduces the expense of litigants as well as the time consumed, as parties no longer have to travel or take their own office of work. The parties can participate in online Lok Adalats from their residences, respective business places, wherever they are. However, the crucial challenge lies in popularizing the idea of E-lok Adalat. At the grassroots level, we have to take steps to provide access to those people who lives in remote corners, who doesn't have the facility of video conferencing. It is the main issue which we have to sort out. This is important to ensure that E-lok Adalat remains as people's Adalat, as well as retain their simplicity and ensure wider reach. Another challenge is to ensure high standards of privacy and data security also. These are the two challenges which we have to find ways and strengthen the system. Now some states like Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka also organized E-lok Adalats, and many more states are coming forward and they are working to organize this E-lok Adalats in coming months. Legal service authorities are using technology on various fronts, and it is appropriate for me to give certain facts and figures regarding the same. Training programs are being organized through webinars. We use social media tools to a great extent. Awareness programs are being held through electronic media, and the National Legal Service Authority from July to June 2020, around 15,555 programs were held through webinars for panel lawyers, for capacity building up. 827 legal awareness programs were also held to target the population through webinars. 170 legal awareness programs were held through radio and television, and through national and as well as the state legal aid helplines. 6 lakhs to 26,275 people were provided legal information and advice. Effective legal representation was provided to the arrested persons during this COVID time. From April 2020 to June 2020, 16,646 persons who were arrested were provided legal assistance at the remand stage. Bail applications were filed in 6,812 cases, out of which 4,601 arrested persons were granted bail. 495 convicts were provided legal assistance in filing appeals. In domestic violence cases, legal assistance and advice was provided to 3,443 women. About 662 cases were settled through mediation. In 441 cases, different petitions were filed in different courts. The legal services institutions across the nation, in coordination with the district administration and different NGOs, are reaching to the millions of the people to get legal needs, to meet their legal needs which have cropped up during this pandemic. I congratulate and express my sincere thanks to the legal aid authorities, judicial officers, paralegal volunteers, and others for their constant endeavors to ensure justice even during these difficult days. But the success of any endeavor rests upon the stakeholders. My advice to lawyers: they must navigate every possibility of pre-litigation settlement and must advise clients to approach Lok Adalats for the greater benefit of parties. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, the true function of a lawyer is to unite parties. Additionally, it is the responsibility of the parties choosing this as a form to commit and work towards the early resolution of their disputes rather than using it as a mere delay tactics. Lastly, judicial officers dispensing justice should not bring any adjudicatory flavor to their proceedings and must rather understand the parties and their economic and social conditions with patience. Sometimes relentless efforts have to be taken to reach an amicable solution. In a country like ours, with a vast and diverse population, the success of judicial system depends on the population, people's participation. So, I congratulate the legal service authorities for taking this initiative approach in making justice accessible even in these challenging times. I earnestly hope the momentum continues. The NALSA, along with the entire network of legal service authorities, adopt innovative mechanisms so as to grow to its fullest extent possible. I hope and request the media lends its support in popularizing the different efforts being taken by the legal service authorities. I conclude with the words of a renowned American jurist. I quote, the courts of this country should not be the place where resolution of disputes begins. They should be the place where the disputes end. After alternative methods of resolving disputes have been considered and tried. Unquote. I sincerely thank you, all of you, for providing me this opportunity, and I'm very happy that the initiative taken by Delhi State Authority, Justice Patel, as well as Justice Seema Kohli, and the Secretary, Mr. Kanwaljit Arora, and his team. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Your vision helps us to see new horizons and is definitely taking legal service authorities to new heights. I would now request Shri Kanwaljit Arora, Member Secretary, Delhi State Legal Services Authority, to present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Namit. A very good evening, all present. They say the best thing in the world cannot be seen or touched. They must be felt by heart. Showing gratitude and feeling thankful is one such prayer. It is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks on this momentous occasion to all the dignitaries who have become part of this accomplishment ceremony of the first ever E-lok Adalat in Delhi. Pandemic of COVID-19 has crippled the life of entire humanity across the globe, forcing the courts as well to have a restricted functioning. No doubt it has posed a humongous challenge before us to discharge our constitutional obligation of ensuring access to justice for all. We at Delhi State Legal Service Authority, however, devised ways and means to navigate through these troubled times. Organizing and holding today's E-lok Adalat is one such step in this regard, and presence of your lordships on this occasion has made it a memorable one. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It required comprehensive planning and discussion threadbare. The endeavor of holding E-lok Adalat proved to be successful primarily because of the path shown by Honorable Ms. Justice N.V. Ramana, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairperson, NALSA. Sir, your energy, enthusiasm and diligence, which was depictable from your words of wisdom, are a source of inspiration for all. Your continuous, comprehensive and wholehearted support to the projects and objects of NALSA percolated down to Delhi State Legal Service Authority as well. Sir, your vision and intent inspired us to conceive and execute the idea of holding E-lok Adalat. Your Lordship's presence in the program enthused and infused confidence amongst us all. I express deep sense of appreciation and gratitude to your Lordship for gracing the occasion and encouraging us with your words of wisdom. Thank you, sir. We are also fortunate to have amongst us Honorable Ms. Justice D.N. Patel, Chief Justice, High Court of Delhi, and Patron-in-Chief of Delhi State Legal Service Authority. Sir, your passion for work, compassion for marginalized, far-sightedness, humility, and empathy are the for the cause of poor are the benchmark which we always try to achieve in all our endeavors. Sir, being our lighthouse, you guided us to believe that when physical spaces shrink, virtual spaces expand. It is on this basis that we undertook the present initiative to hold E-lok Adalat, including the MSET cases, for the benefit of those litigants whose cases were pending in courts. Through this, we were able to bring a smile on the faces of such petitioners. We are highly indebted for your kind and gracious presence on this occasion, sir. Thank you. Honorable Ms. Justice Hema Kohli, Judge, High Court of Delhi, took over as Executive Chairperson of DALSA in one of the most difficult and challenging times. However, under the able leadership of Ma'am, Delhi State Legal Service Authority has converted this period of crisis into one of opportunity. Ma'am, by her sheer devotion, dedication, positive and proactive attitude, shaped the working pattern of our authority to match the challenging circumstances put forth by the pandemic. She navigated us in operationalizing a dedicated helpline and creating Vidik Seva app for providing food, clothing, shelter, and legal assistance to the needy. To reach out to the victims of domestic violence, she floated the idea of roping in mother dairy booths, chemists, and Anganwadi workers. Online and telecounseling was then set up to help such victims of domestic violence. Heading high-powered committee, Ma'am had laid down criteria for decongestion of jails. Under her leadership, help desks were set up for registration of construction workers and for assisting migrant laborers to go back to their native villages. It was on her idea that we started online learning series for improving the quality, capacity, and capability of panel lawyers. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing the occasion. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Judges of High Court of Delhi for gracing the event and showing keen interest in the program as well as endeavors of Delhi State Legal Service Authority. A special thanks to learned district and session judges of all the districts who are also chairpersons of their respective district legal service authorities. They have been the pillar of strength of DALSA and have always been supportive and forthcoming in all our projects. Without your support, it would not have been possible for us to have this online Lok Adalat. I am grateful to all the learned judicial officers who presided over the first ever E-lok Adalat. Without their support and earnest efforts, this program would never have been a success as it turned out to be. All learned judicial officers have put in tremendous efforts, not only today, but for the last 3 years by holding pre-sittings to achieve the maximum disposal, and the results are there for all of us to see, as has been conveyed by Honorable Mr. Justice D.N. Patel. I also convey earnest thanks to associate members, that is doctors and panel lawyers, who joined the Lok Adalat benches with learned judicial officers. I am thankful to learned referral judges as well for their efforts in identifying suitable cases for E-lok Adalat and for making the requisite references. I am grateful to Shri Ashok Kumar Jain, Member Secretary NALSA, Shri Alok Agarwal, Advisor NALSA, and Shri Sunil Chauhan, Director NALSA, for their continuous support for this event. I extend my sincere thanks to Shri Manoj Jain, Registrar General, Shri Ravindra Dudeja, and Shri V.K. Bansal, Directors, Delhi Judicial Academy, for their active support and enormous cooperation. The E-lok Adalat could not have taken place without cooperation and assistance of senior officers of insurance companies, banks, and their respective panel lawyers. I extend my gratitude to all of them for their having agreed to list their cases in this Lok Adalat and their wholehearted participation and in successful completion thereof. Thank you, sirs. The sparkle and fulcrum of this E-lok Adalat was the technical support on which its execution was dependent. In this sphere, SAMA, an institution engaged in online arbitration, has proved the necessary assistance. The necessary assistance which they had provided, in addition to its efficacy, there is another feature to that, which is that they have provided it pro bono. We feel obliged and extend heartfelt thanks to SAMA, especially to Shri Paranjal Sinha, The CEO and his entire technical team of case managers who day in and day out have supported all the judicial officers, the Lok Adalat benches for getting the e-signatures, electronic signatures of the parties for disposal of the cases. We at Delhi State Legal Service Authorities always believe in imparting quality legal aid and assistance. We are fortunate to be backed by a team of motivated, dedicated, and result oriented soldiers consisting of Shri Gautam Manan, Special Secretary, Ms. Namrata Agarwal, Additional Secretary, and Secretaries of District Legal Services Authorities. It is their back-breaking efforts which makes me and the institution proud of them. Present event of E-lok Adalat and its successful completion is one fine example of their hard work. I thank them all for their this event and assured to give it a wide and adequate publicity, making people aware about the success of online alternate dispute resolution mechanism. The same, to my mind, would definitely encourage others to participate in the next sequel of the E-lok Adalat, which my Lord Honorable Mr. Justice D.N. Patel has just said that shortly we are going to have the next one. Organizing and holding any program of magnitude and diversity of E-lok Adalat is not possible without the diligent work of the staff. The well-oiled support staff of DALSA, which provided all the logistics and technical services, justify a special mention today. A big thank you to all of them, including Harigopal, Sonia, and Nitin, for their involvement and willingness to complete the task beyond their comfort zones. There are so many hands and brains behind this program. I may be kindly excused if I have forgotten to mention about the role and involvement of any such person. In the end, I would like to say, हमें पहुंचना है बस अपने आप की हद तक. हमें पहुंचना है बस अपने आप की हद तक. हम अपने हौसलों को मंजिल बनाकर चलते. Thank you everyone for joining this event and for sparing your valuable time and to be with us. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for expressing gratitude on behalf of all of us. This marks the end of this program. Once again, thank you all for sparing your valuable time. Thank you.